And we're live. Hello, and welcome back to the Precision Personal Training Podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Shaughnessy, and this episode is brought to you by PrecisionPT, our very selves. We offer one-to-one in-person and online coaching, and you can contact us through our website, precisionpt.ie, or simply just DM us on Instagram, and one of the members of our team will get back to you. So without further ado, this is episode number 8 of our second season this year, and I am going to introduce my guest and brilliant online client, Taylor. So Taylor, you can introduce yourself, and thanks for coming on.
Hello, I'm Taylor. Thank you for having me here.
Okay, so Taylor has kindly agreed to come on the podcast and talk about her wonderful transformation, because obviously Taylor's result went from complete beginner to boss, we're calling it, because she became a boss. From just starting out as a beginner to where she is now. And of course, if you're listening to this, you've obviously seen her result, and the progress she's made has been nothing shy of just brilliant. But also, like, the process that Taylor went through was impressive, because it was definitely difficult, and there was a lot of like mental blocks that we had to get through with, like, let's say, why we need to eat more food, train hard, train tough, but we'll get into all of that. But the first question I have for you, Taylor, is why did you start coaching? What made you reach out and get going in the gym?
So it was like April last year. It was exam season. Stress was high. My diet was very poor. I think I was eating like a chicken roll in the morning and then having like popcorn for dinner, and so my weight actually just like went down, lost muscle, because I was already playing football and stuff from like a young age. So I wasn't playing football at this time. So sport went, food went, diet went, and my weight just came down and down. No muscle, and I just wasn't really happy that I had no muscle. I've always been like a muscly girl, as much as you can get from playing football. So to have like no muscle left, it was a bit disheartening. So that's why I came.
Okay.
Get stronger, build muscle.
So you weren't doing any gymming at all?
I mean, so when I met Philip, my boyfriend, he went to the gym all the time, and the girlfriend always follows along, but I was never ever consistent. And I think that's like one of the main things I did struggle with. I would go with him just to kind of go with him, I suppose, but I was never fully into it, I would say. Okay. I think it was more football that I was kind of into. So
okay. And then you said that you wanted to build muscle and obviously develop your physique. What did that look like for you at the start when we started working together? As in, like,
what did I want from it?
Like what did that look like for you?
Well, I wanted to, lift strong. I wanted to get properly into the gym. Obviously as well, like I was kind of lacking confidence at that time. As I said, I've always been a muscly girl, let's say. I've always had muscle in my legs. I've always been like well-defined legs, that kind of way. And to lose all that, and to not, fit your clothes and stuff well. It was summertime as well, so everyone was out in their shorts and their skirts, whatever, and just in myself, I didn't feel happy. So I wanted to get them big legs back, and I suppose develop my upper body as well, which I've never had. I'm also not blessed in some areas as well, so that was like something I've always wanted to build on and stuff. So
cool. And then a lot of girls that will be watching this and wondering, okay, I can relate to her, I want to do that. What made you, like, let's say, reach out, send the text? Because obviously there's that initial fear where it's like, Jesus Christ, like, I'm going through college, I have to make this financial commitment, and I also have to commit time to this, and I want to make sure I have the right coach lined up for you. How was that process?
Well, I knew that obviously I wanted to get stronger, and I knew that the only way to do this was to commit to the gym, commit to eating well. And I think like that time after my exams, just maybe a month before I decided to go with you, I was in Australia, and I was eating I was tracking my calories for some reason, and I was tracking I remember eating 1,600 calories a day at 55 kg, which is not good, for me at the time. So I knew that I hadn't a clue about nutrition. I hadn't a clue how to, do exercises properly in the gym to, make progress. And I knew that I wouldn't stick to the gym if someone wasn't going to push me.
Holding you accountable.
Yeah. So, I just needed someone to hold me accountable, really.
Yeah.
And obviously to teach me everything. I was clueless back then.
Yeah.
I was. I didn't know anything.
Well, I think it's impressive from where you started off, because obviously in your pictures, everyone that said it to me here in the gym were like, how is she the same weight? Because you went from 55.6 kilos to 64 kg peak gaining phase.
Crazy.
which we're going to get into.
I know.
And then after a 10-week cut, Taylor was back down to 56 again, but you could see there was a lot more tissue there.
Yeah.
So there was a full year in between those shots. I want to get into the gaining phase and starting that off. So with your approach to your nutrition, obviously you weren't eating a lot, but I didn't want to jump the gun straight away and give you 2,500 calories or something. You'd be like, Jesus Christ, this is going to make me heavy. But your training, from looking back through your True Coach is the coaching app software that we use, so I have all Taylor's training history there. Your training from the start, I just had down, it was a bit sporadic with your own training. You'd go in, do legs on the machines, not much free weights, and then it was just all over the shop. So once we added in that bit of structure, how did you find that side of training? Did you start to enjoy training, or was it a case of it just felt like a chore? No,
I would say I never really enjoyed the gym before having a coach, to be honest. I'd go in, I'd just copy what Philip's doing, and not saying that he was wrong in doing anything, but just it wasn't tailored to me, let's say.
Yeah, exactly. Philip is jacked.
Yeah,
shout out to him. Yeah, shout out to him. You're not doing anything wrong, man.
No, it just wasn't tailored to what I needed specifically. Obviously, we're two completely different people. We obviously need different training needs. So
correct.
What was the question again?
So training went from a chore to routine.
Yeah, once I found that it was really targeting what I wanted it to target, I found it was I was making progress, and it started being really, really enjoyable, that kind of way. I was going in, I had a plan, I was doing that plan, and I was getting out, and I wasn't confused what to do or where to go next in the gym, if you get me. And I just felt like after every session, it was very fulfilling, let's say.
Because how was that for, obviously being a woman going into a gym like the Warehouse in Knocknacarra? It's class gym, it's big, it's scary, there's a lot of personalities. How is that as a girl going in and not knowing what to do?
Yeah, well,
what
actually, before, so when I keep referring back to Philip, but when I just met Philip, he was going there. And I said to myself, I'll never step foot in that gym. Because as you know, there's some people always videoing there, and there's some amazing people in there who can lift so heavy, all them girls who live in there, like Lisa's in there, she's, shout out. But it's quite daunting. It is but then I did join, and obviously I didn't know what to do until I met you, but once I started with you, then I knew what to do in the gym, so I went in, knew what to do, did my bit.
Confidence went up.
Yeah, definitely. Because the gym's a scary place. It is.
Any gym.
It's a scary place.
Even here, when you come down for your first in person, you're like, oh my God, because especially
But there's so much equipment that you just wouldn't. You need guidance, though. You do.
Yeah, it's a jungle,
guidance.
and it's if you don't know it, a football pitch, you go out on a football pitch, you're like, this is my territory. I can excel here. It's like anything. But when it came to your training, let's say, we had to shift a lot of focus to Taylor's training numbers improving. So let's say her getting stronger, because for any girls and guys that are listening to this, you need to be getting progressively stronger in the gym. You can't just go in and stay tipping away on the same weights expecting something to change. You need to give the body a reason to change. Now, it's not a case where you shock the muscles, but I think let's say one thing we noticed from you got super strong, and that was something I could see in you. Shocking. And still we just did a session there, Taylor trap bar deadlifted 100 kilos for 2 reps.
First time.
Yeah, and you're buzzing. So how did you find that process, let's say starting to get stronger and enjoy that and be like, okay, I belong here now?
It was definitely the best part, I think. yeah, I just love seeing progress. I love going in, and you were really supportive as well. Like any time I'd hit, whether it be like the smallest little, you know, one push up or something, like you were really, he was so supportive. Like he'll literally kiss the floor you're walking on when you do, like, you lift a 5 kg or something.
5 kg dumbbells.
Yeah,
like,
but no, like that is, I think, probably the best, like the most enjoyable thing for me out of the last year.
Yeah.
Was, you know, hitting PBs and stuff. Because I think as well, when I did cut, that was one thing I really struggled with, is losing that.
You were pissed.
Yeah, I was not.
No, it didn't happen straight away.
No.
Yeah.
Just like peak bulk, like it was a strong time, yeah. But it was good, yeah.
So then moving on into that, because we didn't notice any, like, let's say, physique changes straight away, because you're not gonna. That's where we kind of have to shift focus to the weights in the gym going up, because that kind of takes you away from looking in the mirror and being like, oh, this hasn't changed, and kind of nitpicking yourself. But then when calories were going up, we were seeing physique improvements. How did you find the process of having to eat more to fuel muscle growth? Because it's inevitable. You have to do it.
I mean, I love food. Like I might be like, I didn't struggle with that side of it. I know some people do, especially girls, because the way we're, I suppose, told to look, that food can be scary.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, like
Carbs are bad for you?
Yeah, like there's so much out there that would scare you from food, but like I suppose I'm kind of lucky in the fact that I've never, let's say, struggled with, you know, like belly fat, or so it nearly goes to my legs rather than my belly. So I've never been scared of food, as some people say. So for me, the eating was, you know, enjoyable, and I knew that if I ate more, that in the future, the longer run, that it would benefit me more.
You'd build a better physique when you diet. Exactly.
I trusted you.
See, that's the thing.
I trusted you. I knew that that it wasn't going to be forever, that I was going to be, let's say, at whatever, 64, 63 kg.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I knew it wasn't a long-term thing, so it would benefit me when I...
Yeah, so to give anyone watching or listening an idea, I kind of wanted Taylor to gain like roughly 0.5 kilo of body weight a week, and we could start to see that it was definitely going to the areas that we wanted to grow and develop: glutes, quads, upper back, because Taylor had, like, let's say, kind of your shoulders definitely weren't balanced.
No.
You could see that there was a musculature imbalance there, and we had to kind of fuel that as well, and fuel that muscle getting more balanced. So Taylor's food, the calories didn't go straight away to a skyrocket number. Like peak gaining phase, Taylor got up to 3,500 calories, and I remember you said to me that you had to eat a sweet treat to get that, and that was fine, because we took a flexible diet and approach. We assigned macros, we assigned a protein target, we kind of had an idea of where we wanted carbs to be on training days, and calories were hit. And then as Taylor's weight started to stall, because obviously we have the data tracking sheet, we could see where and when to increase the food. And I think you took that in your stride, and that's one thing that I have to commend you for, because it's probably our hardest job, especially with girls, trying to, like, let's say, just gain that trust of, if you do eat, let's say, through an off season, like, let's say, winter, because obviously everyone wants to be dieting for summer. If you do push your food more through the winter,
benefit you in the... There you go.
Exactly. Because when we pull calories back, you'll see the muscle that has been built. That's
the thing as well. Like I keep cutting you.
Go on.
When I was at that peak or whatever, it was hard to see the muscle that you have built, just because there is that extra, you know, layer from the food.
Yeah.
But as soon as you start, like, cutting, that muscle definition is insane. Like, because I thought I'd never see the day that I'd see shoulders. I have shoulders, guys. They're little, but they're there.
Yeah, exactly. So I think getting around that, like, having just trust in that gaining phase, is massive, especially when you're trying to change how you look. Because I think now as well, you see everything going on with everyone doing hybrid training and like, let's say high rocks, all of them are great. But again, if you're trying to build, let's say, strong glutes, you're trying to grow and develop any muscle area in particular, it has to be fueled by food. Not unnecessary food, but it has to be fueled by food, and you have to be training, and you have to be resistance training, and it has to be hard training. Like, let's say a lot of people would nearly forget, and I got this from my brother Dave, he calls it, I think it's lifter's amnesia. They forget what built their physique. So everyone's like, great, it's unreal, commend it, let's say this hybrid style training, but you can't really forget what built the physique that you have currently, because we didn't implement cardio until the very end.
No, that's the thing, we didn't.
It was,
I haven't really, other than
Stairmaster. Was it
running? I did a bit of running.
It was, but the Stairmaster was only what, 20 minutes?
Like,
if even?
Yeah, well,
Did you do it?
I did a few times.
Yeah.
No, like, we did, I think like 3 20 minutes maybe, but that was like, I think we started with 2 20 minutes or something.
I think 2 10s.
Two tens, yeah.
And you hated every second.
Yeah, it's not for me.
Yeah.
It's actually not for me at all.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But I think why your diet was so successful was because how long you committed to a gaining phase. Because with Taylor, it was a case where we just upped her steps, and it was, let's bring the steps up more. And then when body weight started to stall for like 2 weeks, because obviously we have stuff like time of the month to work around as well, and we don't want to go off 1 week of the scale kind of stopping going down, because obviously when you're in a fat loss phase you want the scale going down. But because your gain phase was so successful and you push food, you literally just had to bring down your portion sizes. So like, let's say instead of 400 grams potato, it was 300 grams potato. Can you give,
that's all I did really.
Can you give us an insight into what you actually ate for the gaining phase, and then we'll go into the diet? Like, what did your diet look
like? My food is still quite a lot the same as it was before, from when I was gaining and cutting, but I just honestly just cut down the portion sizes. I eat a lot of potatoes. Like, I don't know if it's just because I'm lazy, I don't want to cook like adventurous meals or whatever, but like, as you said, I was eating maybe 450 potatoes in my gaining, and now I'm eating like, depending, 250 to 300, which is right now is good for me. I don't know how I ever ate 400 450, as well as protein as well. I do try keep my chicken or whatever the same as the gaining phase, but carbs definitely have just come down. Anything else? Even like with my yogurt, I was eating maybe 400 grams of yogurt. Now I'm only eating, my 300 grams or whatever. So everything's the same. Like, it's good food all the time. It's just cut down a little bit more. And
I think you're at a stage where you can do that 80-20 approach to your nutrition. Like, you and Philip love the roll of donuts.
That's the thing. Like, I am a sucker for a pastry. Like, it's
so is Philip as well, by the way. Let's call him out.
It's him. It's not me.
Let's call him out.
It's him. I see you. It's him.
Yeah, but you that kind of keeps you in check. Like, let's say, like, the common thing is Monday to Friday, I'm enjoying my routine, my normal meals. Then let's say Saturday you could get, I don't know, dough bros, or go to Dublin and get a rolling donut. Like, so you have that.
And I think it's good as well.
Balance.
Like, me and Philip are both in that mindset of eating clean for, like you said, the 5 days, and then one day we'll go, like, tomorrow we're going to go and get, because I have my day off, we're going to go get something nice together, because I think that is, if you eat, like, it's good to eat clean 24/7 obviously, but like, it's not,
is it for sustainable
your own,
though?
For your own insanity, it's not,
because food is everything, no matter what. And anyone
you
watching
need to enjoy
this,
yourself.
Exactly. Like, food is everywhere. It's in relationships. It's in like work. Like, if anyone's going anywhere, it's like, do you want it from the shop?
It's a social thing. Like, you need
110%.
to.
So if you restrict, and you think, like, let's say a meal plan. Like, what happens after the meal plan? We're going to get into your reverse, and like a reverse diet is basically just the diet after the diet. Like, Taylor's absolutely nailed her reverse diet, and she's back up from peak cut, I think it was 16, we went down to calories, and that was obviously dropped from the 3.5 at a nice rate. Like we didn't go 3.5 down to 16. We went
slow,
2.8,
nice.
2.5, 2. That's just because it suited you.
Oh definitely.
Like some people like to get in and get out.
Yeah, no, I like a slow. I think it works best for me. It's how my body responds well to that kind of slow, gradual,
decrease in the calories, because
100%.
I think you can get hangry. So I think it was just managing that, and that's a good sign, because
I do love food. So if you cut my food in half like that, that would be me done.
Exactly. So
but again, it depends on the person. Like
it's person dependent, and but I think the beauty of your approach, it just set up such a good after the diet phase for you, because obviously it was stressful with college. And that's one thing I want to get into, is how did you find managing college, relationship, training, food, work? Like it's a lot on a young woman's plate. Like how old are you?
22.
22. Yeah. How did you find balance and all that?
Yeah, so that was probably, I was at the end of my cut at that time, I think, when I started studying for my exams. So my exams are in April. So I was kind of studying the whole month of April and half of May, let's say. So that's a good 5 weeks of like grinding for college. Final year, so I had to like put my all into it basically. But also trying to get in my 4 or 5 days of training while eating well, because I was in the college, studying my 8 to 10 hours a day. Like, it's tough. It's really tough. I think, how many times did I text you saying like I can't get my gym session in, or that I was really struggling with getting proper food in.
There was a phase where we dropped to even three sessions, which was fine.
Yeah, it's really tough. But again, my college was priority at the time, and I think some people need to remember that the gym doesn't always have to be first priority.
Number one.
Just take care of yourself. Food, I think, was probably the next priority for me. Eating well, eating clean at that time for myself and mentally. Like if I was eating like last year, bags of popcorn for dinner and stuff, like just wouldn't be right for me mentally. So I think when you are studying that much and when you are under that level of stress, eating good meals is like really good. It's probably priority.
Does it help with your energy throughout the day?
Absolutely. Makes you less hungry.
One thing that I liked how you were able to still, because obviously yourself fill up with your dates and everything, it's food, like it revolves around food.
I know.
One thing that I liked that I thought was brilliant was the painting. So Taylor picked an evening where the two of them had to paint each other. And you had like local potato.
Them things you like, what are they called?
Pop chips.
Pop chips. Barbecue pop chips. They're really good. And a Diet Coke. That was our little treat of the night.
And it's not necessarily like the food, it's more the experience, like having the picky bits of the pop chips there, because instead of having a full bag of Walkers, which is high in calories, you can have the pop chips 84 or whatever it is, your Diet Coke, and still have that date night crack. Exactly.
Or even you had your movie night the other night, and instead of scranning, I don't know, a bag of Doritos, or you had your pop chips as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You can still have that experience while just making better choices.
You don't need to do like the what's it called, the winter air, dialed in. I'm going ghost.
No. You can still go meet your friends and go to cinema, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's all about your own decision, your own decisions at the end of the day, and your choices. We all have a choice. It's what you want to do with that. Taylor had the choice. Like she's like, I'm on low calories. I could get myself down, be hangry and ruin Philip's buzz, but she was like, no, I'm going to make this work, but I'm going to make it work around my goals at that time. And that was one thing that I have to be like, that was class. Some of the lifts that you got to, so Taylor's training was, and still is, epic. Taylor's taken really well to resistance training, strength training, and feeling all the benefits of it. Some of your lifts, let the people hear.
Maybe I was an athlete in my past life.
Maybe.
Only joking.
Pro bodybuilder.
Probably the one. Probably what I'm like probably most proud of is my hip thrusts. They were very heavy. They're like one of the main exercises I love to do because I know I can do heavy.
What was the most you got to?
Like 180 was it?
185.
185,
185.
Yeah. 185, yeah, for reps.
And you got to pull up?
Yeah, that was obviously, I never changed my upper before I met you, ever. Never lifted a weight for my upper at all. So you nearly had to, my legs have always been strong, but up here was like from scratch. So to do push-ups, 10 push-ups now is like a massive achievement for me. And also I got like 2 proper pull-ups, which is really big for me. I'm buzzing about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like a lot of girls would shy away from that and be scared.
Yeah.
Even like it's gas. Like you'd think on my upper body I'm going to look like a bodybuilder, or you're not.
No,
like unless
no.
you're taking performance enhancing drugs, steroids, like that's not going to happen because the majority of them are on them. It's gas. Even my own mother is doing, like, I do a class for her and her sisters here, and she came into me and she's like, my arms have hardened up.
That's what I mean. Like,
the flab is gone.
No, it's just nice. Like, even before I met you, like, I would never have been able to do one push-up, like not one. I remember doing like at like Prinks or something, I'd be down trying to do push-ups in front of people, and like I've never been able to do one, or even like the women's ones, as they say.
So now we have to title this podcast new party trick, Taylor Walsh. Push-ups,
That's what I used to do.
Push-ups at a house party.
I remember like just, I don't know why I did this. I used to do push-ups at like Prinks and stuff.
So you were always destined for them.
Huh?
You were always destined for them.
And now I can actually do them. So yeah. It is an achievement though.
So, your reverse diet, how did you find, like, let's say when you were done dieting, you were like, this is it for me, I've hit this body weight, I feel great, I feel shredded. How did you find, like, let's say gradually bringing up the calories again?
Good and bad. Good in the fact that the strength was slowly coming back. Like if we go back to the pull-ups, at the end of my cut, I was kind of struggling to do the chin-ups.
Yeah.
And I said, what's going on? Like, I was able to do these like a couple of months ago, no problem. Food came back and I just whacked out a pull-up, and it was like, this is great, strength's coming back. However, when I came off the cut and food's coming in, all I wanted to do was pig out, right? Because I had them calories spare.
Yeah.
It's like I had 1,000 calories spare, let's say. I wanted a fatty pizza or something. So, do you know what I mean? Like, it was hard in the fact that I was kind of not like refraining myself, let's say, from eating whatever I wanted. But I was fine. I just controlled myself.
Yeah, I think.
Do you get what I mean? Like,
I think you're talking about how you improved your mindful eating.
Yeah.
Well, I remember you voiced on me, and you're like, I feel like I want chocolate.
Yes. Yeah.
But I'm just. I don't. It's just a feeling of it. So I think you.
It's like when you have them extra calories sitting there. It's like. Yeah, I don't know. It's like
it plays with you, and like that's something, because you're in such a you're dieting, and you're like, do you know, I have these are my calories now at the moment. I'm sticking to these. You're in such a routine. It's when that changes, and that's the one thing with reverse dieting that anyone that comes out of a dieting phase they struggle with. But I think definitely having that kind of extra set of eyes, being able to voice on it and be like, or on a check-in, be like, oh, like I'm craving this. Do you know, like even when you say it out loud, you're like, am I actually craving this? Or do I really want it, or is it just a craving, you know? And being able to be aware of that, I think, was something that you learned massively. And now you're eating 2,500 calories, and she's only increased her body weight by
2 kg.
2 kg.
2 kg.
So you're currently sitting at
58.
And she just deadlifted double her body weight for 2 reps, which is savage. So if a young girl or guy is listening to this now, and they're on the fence about, let's say, just even going to the gym, irrespective of getting a coach, what would be your best advice? What would you tell Taylor last year that you know now?
I mean, obviously, like, don't be afraid of the gym. Obviously, that is like one thing. Don't be afraid. No one cares. Like, when you're in there, no one cares what you're doing. Everyone's in there for the same reason. We all want to be a better version of ourselves. Yep. But probably, like, to any girl or guy, don't be afraid of food. You know, food is what, as you said, fuels you. It's what's gonna build your muscle if that's what your aim is. And it's what gives you energy, and yeah, I think that's probably something I'd say.
Yeah. Nice. So what was the most enjoyable part of your training and the journey as a whole? Go on.
So, as I said, seeing the strength, did I say that already?
Yeah.
Seeing like strength from food. So obviously as food is going up, strength is going up. I think every session, you know, when you get a PB, it's such a buzz. It's like, yeah, it's so good. And then I text you like, I got this. You're like, let's go.
Yeah. When you get Wi-Fi in the warehouse.
Yeah. And then probably would be when we cut food, when we were dieting, is seeing how my body was changing. You know, seeing the definition in my quads, or what I was really buzzing about is my shoulders. Because I've always just had, you know, plain straight down arms.
Lack of shape?
Yeah, lack of shape, let's say, or like plain. Plain.
Well, what the options? Barbecue or
seeing like that I had shoulders kind of just coming up, or just changes in your body really. Maybe some abs are coming through. It's nice to see changes in your body.
So you enjoyed getting stronger, progressing in the gym, and then obviously when we dieted, seeing the aftermath of the gain of face. Cool. So now we got some questions in the Q&A from the public that we threw up. So one of them was actually, what was Taylor's favourite part of the process? So thank you for that question. I hope that's answered. Is there any more to give there?
I don't think so. I think just enjoy the process as much as you can, you know. That's what I said.
Second one then is, how did Taylor get over the fear of weight gain on the scale during her bulk? Ooh.
I don't think I necessarily struggled with the weight going up. Now, I know some people do struggle with the weight going up, so I can't speak for everyone, but as I said earlier, it is short term. I knew I wasn't going to be sitting at 63 kg for, you know, summer, let's say. I knew that it was coming off me, so yeah, I just enjoyed the gaining phase. I enjoyed the extra food. Like, that is, it's a blessing to have being given all this food, that you can eat all this food, and I knew that dieting phase was going to come, so seeing the weight going up, I knew it was going to benefit me in the long term. So yeah, I didn't really struggle with it, to be honest.
Yes. Then next one is, what led you to picking PrecisionPT / Kyle as a coach?
Probably Lisa, to be honest. So
a referral.
Referral. So I went to school with Lisa, so I kind of knew her, and then she obviously joined the gym, seeing like her progression and stuff that she posted on her stories and stuff, and I went into your page. You were really good, you know, page, you've videos up and all that, really knowledgeable, obviously super supportive, and I just think, it's good place to come, guys.
And then another one is, what do you think girls struggle with the most towards the gym?
As in like process, or like
just what do you think girls struggle with the most? Like, let's say you're talking to one of the girls and she might train or whatever, and then I'd imagine it's like, what do you think she struggles with the most?
Definitely probably like, obviously like gaining weight and stuff like that's eating food is massive for girls as well. I think for guys, like, you know, you're able, in a gaining phase, you're able to wear massive t-shirts and cover your bellies or so, let's say, but for girls, like even what we wear, like I'm in a t-shirt right now and shorts, you can see everything, you know. I can wear my big t-shirts and stuff, but I just find that even like if I eat a meal, let's say before the gym, I'm super bloated after it. I nearly don't want to, like there's some days I don't want to go to the gym because I'm so bloated, and I just don't feel good in myself. So I think it's food and gaining weight is probably a struggle for some girls. Confidence, and yeah, I think it's just we're programmed to look a certain way.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of way.
I think it's a comparison.
Comparison, yeah. Like you see all these girls on like TikTok's a massive thing. You know, you have all them defined athletes like Hannah Pearson and all them, and they have like unreal bodies. But you need to then think like they were at this stage at one stage, you know. Yeah,
and I think as well, like obviously being a woman, like let's say time the month comes into it as well, and like you said,
our body changes so much.
Like that bloating, that period bloating, whether it's week of, before and after. What would you say to a girl, like let's say she's on her time the month, she doesn't want to go to the gym, she's feeling bloated? Would you say, like, let's say go to the gym, or would you be like take a day?
I've definitely been there loads of times. Like even like when I am on the time of the month, I've texted you my weight, the scale has gone up, and you're like, okay, is it time up? I'm like, yeah, hello, there you go. I'm like, yeah, okay. Our bodies change so much throughout the whole month. Our cycle just completely changes our body. So I could wake up and feel like the most leanest I've ever been, and then 3 days later I could feel like a bag of potatoes. And you just need to, we're women, so that's just kind of how it goes, to be honest. But no, I would say go to the gym, you're going to feel better after it. Obviously if you're in pain, don't go. But I try to make myself go because I know afterwards I'll be way more better, you know, dopamine's released, blah blah blah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
nice.
Yeah, clears your head.
Next question is what did Taylor eat after her diet?
After my diet,
I'd imagine like this is like, what was your kind of treat, or what did you have?
Oh, Jesus.
You went away, didn't you?
When did I finish?
See, you finished and then you had college, exams. And then it was like a week after your exams.
I finished after my exams.
Yeah.
Did we go away? Oh my God, I can't remember. Did you go to
Limerick or somewhere, I think? Or did you go to Dublin?
We did go to Dublin. Yes, you're right, actually. Yeah. I mean, it was probably just a massive steak with loads of potatoes and garlic butter. Like, it probably was.
Nice.
And probably an acai bowl with an almond croissant and a full fat latte. Unreal. Is that good? Bad?
Unreal. Well, judge in the comments.
Yeah.
Judge your choice in the comments.
That was probably, definitely probably an almond croissant because I'm obsessed with them, and a full fat latte.
Deadly. And then now that Taylor is done her diet, what's her plans after?
To do it all again. Well, I'm definitely nowhere near I want to be, where I want to be. I want to continue gaining muscle. I want to be Kim K.
Operation Kim K.
Operation Kim K. I just continue growing muscle, getting stronger, getting new PBs, getting more pull-ups. Making more progress. That's what my future holds. But
Deadly. On that note, I think that's a very fitting way to end the podcast. That's the end of the questions. So I want to say thank you for coming on. Appreciate it. And as always, you can follow the podcast, share it, get it out there. It helps the gym gain more traction and help people like Taylor. Follow Taylor.
Follow me.
Taylor's currently getting TikTok famous as well now. Want to thank Taylor for coming on, and thanks to everyone who asked questions. They were excellent. And as always, you can reach out to us through our website, PrecisionPT.ie, and you can contact us on Instagram as well if you have any queries. We offer free coaching consults with myself, Lisa, or any members of the team if you'd like to work with us. And thank you for listening.
Bye.